Lisa Gordon stared at the screen in front of her. The numbers didn't make sense. She rubbed her tired eyes and looked again. For the past 3 nights, she had stayed late at NASA's Deep Space Tracking Station, following a strange pattern she had noticed. Now she was sure. "Someone call the director," she said to the nearly empty room. "We're not alone." At first, no one took her seriously. Strange signals happened all the time. Usually, they turned out to be equipment errors or known space objects moving in unusual ways, but Lisa was different. In her 15 years at NASA, she had never raised a false alarm. Director Frank Murray arrived an hour later, his face showing both sleep deprivation and concern. "Show me," he said simply. Lisa pointed to her screen. "These radiation patterns are artificial. They're moving too precisely, slowing down in a controlled manner, and they're headed directly toward us." Frank studied the data, then made a call. Within 24 hours, every major space agency on Earth confirmed Lisa's discovery. Something was approaching Earth from deep space, slowing down in a way that natural objects never could. The United Earth Defense Council met in emergency session 3 days later. Admiral Alan Carter, who had led Earth's combined space forces for 8 years, stood before the world's leaders. "We are tracking 7 large objects approaching Earth," he said calmly, though his eyes revealed his concern. "Their technology appears far beyond our own. They will reach Earth orbit in approximately 12 days. The room erupted in questions and concerns. After order was restored, President Susan Bailey asked the question everyone feared. "Are they hostile?" Admiral Carter answered honestly. "We don't know, but we're preparing as if they might be." Earth had never faced a true alien threat before. There had been strange signals over the years, even a few unexplained sightings, but nothing confirmed. Now humanity had less than 2 weeks to prepare for its first contact with an alien civilization. Teams worked around the clock. Military forces were placed on high alert. The public was informed in careful stages to prevent panic. Some did panic anyway. Religious groups declared the end times. Others celebrated what they hoped would be humanity's welcome into a peaceful, galactic community. Lisa Gordon was assigned to lead the scientific team analyzing the approaching vessels. "They're slowing down in Earth orbit," she reported on day 11. "The largest ship has changed course and will enter our atmosphere tomorrow, Admiral." Carter ordered defensive systems ready but not active. "We show them we're prepared, but we don't make the first aggressive move," he told his officers. The next day, the alien ship hovered above the United Nations building in New York. It was enormous, at least 3 times larger than Earth's biggest aircraft carrier. It glowed with a faint blue light and made almost no sound. Millions watched on screens around the world as a smaller craft detached and descended to the specially prepared landing area. The craft opened, and they saw aliens, for the first time. They looked almost insect-like, walking on 4 legs with 2 arm-like limbs. Their skin was pale blue, and they wore what appeared to be ceremonial armor. Their leader stepped forward. "I am High Emissary Zartul of the Galactic Empire," it said, in perfect English. The voice was mechanical, clearly translated by some advanced technology. "We bring integration into the galactic community." President Bailey stepped forward. "We welcome you to Earth. I am Susan Bailey, representing the United Earth Alliance." The alien seemed to study her. "We request immediate conference with your leaders to discuss terms of planetary acquisition." Those words sent a chill through everyone present. Acquisition. At the temporary diplomatic center established for the aliens, Admiral Carter watched as translator Samantha Mason worked. She had been analyzing the aliens' own language, which their translation devices occasionally used among themselves. "Sir," she said quietly to Carter, "their words don't match their actual communication. When they say integration, their own word is closer to assimilation or absorption." Carter's expression darkened. "Keep listening," he said. 3 days later, a meeting was arranged aboard the neutral space station Harmony, orbiting Earth. Admiral Carter, President Bailey, and Dr. Gordon represented Earth. High Emissary Zartul brought 3 Imperial officials. "Let us speak plainly," Zartul said once formalities were complete. Your world has been cataloged as Resource Planet E3271. The Empire claims all resource planets as Imperial property. President Bailey leaned forward. Earth belongs to humanity. We are a sovereign people. The alien made a sound that might have been laughter. Sovereignty is recognized only for civilizations with interstellar capabilities. You have barely reached your own moon. What exactly are you proposing? Admiral Carter asked, keeping his voice level. Earth will be designated a protected resource world. Humans will be relocated to preservation zones comprising 20% of planetary surface area. Imperial corporations will manage the remaining territory for resource extraction. Dr. Gordon couldn't remain silent. You're talking about confining us to reservations while you strip mine our planet. A crude description, but essentially correct, said Zartul. This is standard Imperial procedure. Resistance is unnecessary and ultimately futile. The Empire spans 8,000 worlds. President Bailey stood up. We need to consult with our full government. Of course, the alien said. You have 3 Earth days to prepare for transition. We will begin landing settlement ships at that time. As they returned to Earth, Carter, Bailey, and Gordon were silent until they were sure they couldn't be monitored. They're not here for diplomacy, Carter said. This is an invasion with paperwork. Can we fight them? President Bailey asked. Their technology is far beyond ours, Dr. Gordon said. But I noticed something. They're overconfident. They didn't even scan our station for weapons or surveillance. Admiral Carter nodded. They've done this before to worlds like ours. They don't expect real resistance. The emergency council meeting lasted through the night. In the end, the vote was unanimous. Earth would not surrender. The next day, Admiral Carter and Dr. Gordon returned to the space station alone. High Emissary Zartul seemed amused by their quick return. You have accepted our terms? Admiral Carter stood tall. I'll be brief, Emissary. Earth is not for sale, lease, or colonization. You misunderstand, Zartul said. This is not a negotiation. No, Carter replied firmly. It isn't. Earth to Galactic Empire. Access denied. You're not welcome here. The alien's eyes narrowed. No primitive world has ever refused the Empire. Then we're honored to be the first, Dr. Gordon said. As they turned to leave, Zartul called after them. This defiance will cost your people dearly. Carter paused at the door. That remains to be seen. Back on Earth, preparation for resistance had already begun. The Empire's response came within hours. 20 smaller ships moved into position around Earth, forming a perfect sphere of control. All satellite communications began to fail. Space stations reported jamming on all frequencies. No one could leave Earth and no messages could get out. They've put us in a cage, Admiral Carter said as he watched the tactical display in the underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains. Navy Commander Jack Wilson stood beside him. At 42, Jack had spent his career planning for wars that never happened. Now he faced an enemy no one had imagined. Sir, they want us to panic, Jack said. That's why they're showing off their technology. They expect us to give up. Carter nodded. What do you suggest, Commander? Let's use what they don't see, Jack replied. They're watching our active systems, but what about the junk? Earth's orbit contained thousands of pieces of space debris, old satellites, spent rocket stages, even tools dropped by astronauts. Most were considered useless. But Jack saw an opportunity. They won't monitor what they think is trash, he explained. We can use the old equipment to build a hidden network. Admiral Carter gave immediate approval. Jack assembled a team including engineers Olivia Reyes and Paul Griffin. They worked in an abandoned missile silo, safe from Empire detection. We can reprogram these old communication satellites, Olivia said, her hands moving quickly over the equipment. They use frequencies no one has used in decades. Paul nodded. And we can bounce signals between debris pieces. It won't be fast, but it will get messages through. While they worked, the Empire began landing small teams on Earth. They looked almost human except for their pale blue skin. They wore special suits that made them appear completely human. They approached governments with offers of assistance. FBI agent Nicole Harmon first noticed something strange when she interviewed a new State Department advisor. His fingerprints didn't match his file. When questioned, he easily overpowered 2 guards before Nicole shot him. His blood was dark purple. "They're infiltrating our governments," she reported to her superiors, "and they can look exactly like us." Nicole recruited tech specialist Ryan Lewis to help identify the infiltrators. He discovered that the aliens gave off a faint radiation signature that special equipment could detect. "They're targeting our leadership," Nicole told Admiral Carter when they met in a secure room. "They want to take over without a fight." Carter asked, "How many have you found?" 17 so far, she answered. "All in positions of growing influence." "Find them all," Carter ordered. "But keep it quiet. Let them think we don't know." Meanwhile, Dr. Lisa Gordon made a breakthrough. She had been studying the Empire's communications from her hidden lab. "Their technology is extremely advanced," she explained to Jack Wilson when he visited. "But it works on principles we've never explored. They use quantum frequencies that we considered useless background noise." Jack leaned forward. "Can we use that against them?" Lisa smiled for the first time in days. "Every system has weaknesses. Theirs ignores certain wavelengths because they consider them meaningless. But we could use those wavelengths to disrupt their systems." On the 60th day of the blockade, the Empire showed its frustration. Their main ship fired energy weapons at 3 unmanned orbital platforms, completely destroying them. Their message was broadcast on all Earth frequencies. This demonstration should clarify the consequences of continued defiance. "High Emissary," Zartul announced, "your leaders hide the truth. We have destroyed only unoccupied structures. The next targets will not be empty." The world watched in fear. Some nations considered surrender. But in the hidden command center, Earth's resistance grew stronger. Jack Wilson's network now connected resistance cells worldwide. Using reprogrammed space junk, they could communicate without the Empire knowing. Nicole Harmon's team had identified over 40 alien infiltrators, and Lisa Gordon had developed prototype devices that could interfere with Empire technology. "We need to test it," Lisa told Admiral Carter, holding up a small device. "But it might alert them to what we know." Carter considered this. "We need more than just defensive measures. We need to show them we can fight back." That's when Kelly Carter, the Admiral's daughter and a brilliant engineer, brought news from her research team. "The Empire isn't just here for territorial expansion," she explained, showing data on a secure tablet. "Earth's oceans contain trace elements they value highly, much more valuable than they admitted." "How do you know this?" her father asked. "We captured data from one of their scout ships," Kelly explained. "Their miners are already preparing extraction points in deep ocean locations." Admiral Carter's face hardened. "So it's not just conquest, it's theft on a planetary scale." As they spoke, a technician rushed in. "Sir, we're detecting massive energy buildups from the Empire fleet. They appear to be preparing for a larger attack." Carter looked at the worried faces around him. "It's time," he said. He picked up a secure phone and gave an order he had hoped to delay. "Activate Project Guardian." Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, in a facility few knew existed, Director Marcus Boyd received the call. He turned to his team. "Begin the awakening sequence," he ordered. Giant machines hidden for decades hummed to life. They had been built using technology from an alien crash site discovered in the 1950s. For years, Earth's best scientists had studied and reverse-engineered the technology while keeping it secret from the public. The Guardian network consisted of 12 satellites in hidden orbits and 20 ground-based stations. They contained defensive capabilities far beyond anything humanity had ever revealed. As the systems came online, something unexpected happened. The Guardian technology began connecting with ancient devices buried deep within Earth itself. Devices no human had placed there. They had been waiting, dormant for thousands of years, for someone to activate them. In orbit, Empire ships detected energy signatures they had not anticipated. Inside their command vessel, High Emissary Zartul received urgent reports. "Impossible," he said, looking at the data. "This world cannot have this technology." He opened a communication channel to Earth. "What have you activated?" he demanded. Admiral Carter responded calmly. "Just some old defense systems. Is there a problem, emissary?" For the first time, Zartul seemed uncertain. "Where did you get this technology?" Carter allowed himself a small smile. "It appears we're not as primitive as you thought." The resistance had begun. The Guardian system lit up the night sky with a soft blue glow. People around the world looked up in wonder. Some feared it was an Empire attack, but government announcements explained it was Earth's defense system activating. In the Antarctic facility, Director Marcus Boyd watched in amazement as system after system came online. The original 12 Guardian satellites had awakened 36 more that had been hidden in deep orbit. No one knew who had put them there. "Sir, the systems are communicating with each other," a technician reported. "They're forming a network, more advanced than anything we designed." Marcus nodded. "The crash site technology was only part of something much bigger. We're just turning the key to a lock someone else built." In the command center, Admiral Carter received new reports every minute. The Empire ships had pulled back, creating distance between themselves and the Guardian network. "They recognize the technology," Lisa Gordon said. "Look at their reaction. They're afraid of it." Jack Wilson studied the tactical display. "Whatever these Guardians are, the Empire knows about them. But how, and why were they already here on Earth?" Before anyone could answer, alarms sounded. The main Empire ship was moving. It positioned itself above the Pacific Ocean and launched smaller craft toward the water. "What are they doing?" Admiral Carter asked. Kelly Carter checked her readings. "They're starting resource collection. The deep ocean minerals I mentioned, they're not waiting any longer. They're taking what they want." Carter's face hardened. "Activate the Guardian defensive protocol." Across Earth, the Guardian systems responded. Energy fields extended from the satellites, creating a shimmering barrier around the planet. When Empire mining ships touched the barrier, their engines failed. They drifted helplessly until their own fleet retrieved them. High Emissary Zartul sent an immediate message. "Your defensive measures violate Imperial law. Deactivate them, or face full military response." Admiral Carter didn't bother responding. Instead, he ordered the next phase of Earth's plan. In Nicole Harmon's FBI office, her team prepared to move against the infiltrators. They had identified 87 aliens in human disguise placed in governments around the world. "Move on all targets simultaneously," she ordered. "Don't give them time to warn each other." Within hours, the infiltrators were captured. Most surrendered. When confronted with the special detection devices Ryan Lewis had created, a few fought back and were killed. One, captured alive after a struggle, was brought to a secure facility for questioning. Nicole faced the alien across a table. With its disguise removed, its blue skin and large eyes made it look strange and threatening, but Nicole showed no fear. "Why is the Empire really here?" she asked. The alien remained silent. "We know about the ocean minerals," Nicole continued, "but that's not everything, is it? What makes Earth so special?" After a long pause, the alien spoke. "You don't even know what you're sitting on." At that moment, in orbit, the Empire lost patience. 20 warships moved into attack formation. Energy weapons powered up. Their message was short: surrender or be destroyed. In the Antarctic facility, Marcus Boyd received an alert. The Guardian systems were changing, evolving in response to the threat. New symbols appeared on the control screens, symbols no human had programmed. "It's like they're waking up," Marcus said to his team. "Whatever these systems are, they're doing more than we designed them to do." Admiral Carter gave the order. "Full defensive posture, prepare for attack." The Empire ships fired. Massive energy beams struck the Guardian shield. The shield absorbed the attacks, growing brighter with each hit. Then, something unexpected happened. The Guardian satellite sent energy pulses back toward the Empire ships, not attacking but disrupting their systems. Empire ships began losing power. Their weapons went offline. Communications failed. Several drifted out of formation, their engines dead. On the command ship, High Emissary Zartul watched in growing horror. "Impossible," he said. "This planet cannot have predecessor technology. They're animals." His second-in-command approached cautiously. "Emissary, we must consider retreat. If this is truly predecessor technology—" "No!" Zartul shouted. "The Empire does not retreat. Launch the ground forces, take the control centers. This resistance must end now." On Earth, Jack Wilson's network detected the new threat. Thousands of smaller craft were preparing to launch from the Empire ships. Invasion forces. "They're going to try a direct ground assault," Jack reported. "They're targeting major cities and military installations." Admiral Carter turned to Lisa Gordon. "Is your disruption technology ready?" Lisa nodded. "The prototypes work. The Empire ships use quantum frequencies. Our devices can jam, but we only have 50 units ready." "Deploy them to critical locations," Carter ordered. "Focus on government and military centers." As the invasion began, Empire landing craft entered Earth's atmosphere. They expected to find primitive defenses. Instead, they encountered Guardian fields that disabled their technology. Landing craft crashed. Those that made it through found their weapons useless against Lisa's jamming devices. In Washington, D.C., Nicole Harmon led a team defending the Capitol. When alien soldiers approached, their advanced weapons failed to fire. Human forces using conventional weapons drove them back. Similar scenes played out around the world. The Empire's technological advantage was neutralized. Their ground forces, never expecting to fight, retreated in disarray. In the captured alien's holding cell, the interrogation continued. Nicole pressed harder. "What did you mean we don't know what we're sitting on?" The alien looked at her with a mixture of fear and respect. "This planet was marked as prohibited territory thousands of years ago, by the ones the Empire still fears." "Who?" Nicole demanded. "The predecessors," the alien said. "The most advanced civilization the galaxy has ever known. They vanished 10,000 years ago, but their technology remains. Technology like your guardians." Nicole leaned forward. "What does that have to do with humans?" The alien's expression changed. "You truly don't know? Examine your guardian technology. See who it responds to." Back at the Antarctic facility, Marcus Boyd made a startling discovery. "The guardian systems respond differently to different people," he reported to Admiral Carter. "They recognize human DNA, but some humans get stronger responses than others." Dr. I. Gordon analyzed the pattern. "It's like the technology is looking for specific genetic markers. It recognizes certain humans as authorized users." In orbit, the Empire fleet regrouped. Their first assault had failed, but they prepared for a second attack. More ships arrived from deeper space. The Empire was committing more forces to subdue. Earth High Emissary Zartul received a secure transmission from the Imperial High Command. The message was simple. Confirm status of predecessor technology. If confirmed, destroy planet immediately. No traces can remain. Zartul's hand hovered over the control panel. The order was clear, but something held him back. If this truly was predecessor technology, could it even be destroyed? On Earth, as the Guardian systems continued to evolve, Admiral Carter realized a terrifying truth. This wasn't just a battle for Earth's freedom. It might be a battle for humanity's survival. Admiral Carter called an emergency meeting of Earth's defense leaders. Representatives from 20 nations gathered in the underground command center. The situation had grown more complex than anyone had imagined. "The Empire is bringing in reinforcements," Jack Wilson reported. "Our orbital sensors detect at least 30 new ships arriving in the outer solar system." Lisa Gordon displayed her latest findings on the main screen. "We've analyzed data from the Guardian systems. They're not just defensive technology. They're scanning devices, communication networks, and something else we don't understand yet." Marcus Boyd added, "The systems are responding to human interaction. When humans operate the controls, the technology becomes more effective. It's like the system recognizes us." Admiral Carter nodded. "Which brings us to the most important question. What did the captured alien mean about predecessors, and what is our connection to them?" Kelly Carter had been working with a team analyzing the Guardian technology. She stepped forward. "We found something in the Guardian code. It contains genetic markers that match human DNA, but not exactly. It's looking for specific patterns. What kind of patterns? Her father asked. Ancient ones, Kelly replied. It's like the technology is searching for humans with genetic connections to whoever built it. The room fell silent as everyone considered the implications. Could humans be connected to an ancient advanced civilization, one that the mighty empire feared? The meeting was interrupted by an alert. On the main screen, they watched as Empire ships began a new approach. This time, they stayed beyond the range of the Guardian disruption fields. General William Scott of the Air Force pointed to the display. They're launching something, too small for our sensors to identify. Probes, Lisa suggested. They're testing our defenses. Thousands of tiny objects entered Earth's atmosphere. The Guardian system responded immediately, creating localized shields around major cities and military installations. But the objects weren't weapons. They were communication devices. Every screen on Earth suddenly displayed the same message from High Emissary Zar Tul. People of Earth, your leaders have endangered you by activating forbidden technology. The predecessor devices are unstable and will ultimately destroy your world. Surrender now and the Empire will save those who can be saved. They're trying to turn the public against us, Nicole Harmon said as she watched the broadcast. Admiral Carter's expression was grim. Because their weapons failed, they're trying psychological warfare. In cities around the world, some people began to protest, demanding the government surrender to save lives. Others stood firm, trusting their leaders. Earth was divided. In the Antarctic facility, Marcus Boyd made a breakthrough. The Guardian system has a data core we couldn't access before. It's opening now, responding to the increased threat. On his screen, strange symbols flowed. The computer translated them slowly. It's a message, Marcus said in awe. From the predecessors. Admiral. Carter ordered the message sent to the command center. Everyone watched as the translation appeared. To our descendants, if you access this message, you face the Empire. They seek what we hide. You are our children, modified to survive Earth's evolution while our civilization's legacy waits in sleep. The Guardians will recognize you. They will serve you. You are the rightful heirs. Lisa read the message twice. We're not just natives of Earth. We're descendants of the predecessors, genetically modified to survive while their technology remained hidden. Jack Wilson shook his head in disbelief. They hid their technology on Earth and changed themselves to look like primitive natives, the perfect hiding place from the Empire. But why? Kelly asked. What were they hiding from? Before anyone could answer, new alarms sounded. The Empire had launched its full attack. Hundreds of warships moved toward Earth. The Guardian system responded, extending its protective field to maximum strength. General Scott studied the tactical display. They're concentrating firepower on specific points, trying to punch through our shields. Divert Guardian power to those locations, Admiral Carter ordered. The battle in space was unlike anything humans had imagined. Empire ships fired weapons that distorted space itself. The Guardian shields absorbed most impacts but began to weaken in some areas. On the ground, people watched the sky change colors as energy discharges lit up the atmosphere. Many prayed. Some prepared for the end. But Earth's defenders worked tirelessly. In her lab, Lisa Gordon made an important discovery. The Guardian technology isn't just responding to us. It's changing us. The systems are activating dormant parts of our DNA. What does that mean? Admiral Carter asked over the secure line. It means we're becoming more like the predecessors, Lisa explained. The technology is finishing what they started. In orbit, the Empire Fleet Commander, General Cravash, grew frustrated. Our weapons should have broken through by now. What's happening? His science officer replied nervously. The Guardian field is adapting to our attacks. It's learning our patterns. This is beyond any predecessor technology we've encountered before. Impossible, Cravash growled. This is a primitive world. Sir, the science officer hesitated. What if it's not? What if this is the predecessor, homeworld? The suggestion was so shocking that Cravash nearly struck the officer, but something about the theory explained the unexplainable. On Earth, the Guardian system continued to evolve. Those working directly with the technology reported strange experiences, increased intuition, faster learning, and even limited telepathic connections with each other. Jack Wilson's hidden communication network expanded beyond Earth orbit, tapping into ancient relay stations hidden in the asteroid belt. Suddenly, Earth could monitor Empire communications throughout the solar system. They're arguing among themselves, Jack reported. Some want to retreat immediately. Others want to destroy Earth completely. Admiral Carter knew they needed to push their advantage. It's time to go on the offensive. Can we adapt our ships to use Guardian technology? Kelly Carter had already been working on the problem. We've modified 3 spacecraft with Guardian shields and disruption fields. They're ready for launch. Who will pilot them? Carter asked. Jack Wilson stepped forward. I will lead the mission, sir. The 3 modified ships launched secretly from a hidden base in the Rockies. They carried Earth's best pilots armed with technology humans barely understood. Jack felt the weight of responsibility as his ship left the atmosphere. As they approached the Empire fleet, Jack activated the Guardian systems. His ship seemed to come alive around him, responding to his thoughts as much as his controls. Remember, he told his pilots, we're not trying to destroy them. We want to show them we can fight back, force them to negotiate. The Empire detected the approaching Earth ships too late. Jack's squadron slipped through their formation, Guardian fields disrupting Imperial systems as they passed. Empire ships lost weapons, engines, and communications in cascading failures. On the Imperial command ship, General Cravash watched in horror as 3 tiny Earth vessels crippled his fleet's most powerful warships. Full retreat, he ordered. Get us out of Guardian range. As the Empire ships pulled back, Earth celebrated its first victory. But Admiral Carter knew the war was far from over. The Empire would return with new tactics in greater numbers. In the Antarctic facility, Marcus Boyd continued to decipher the predecessor message. The final section was now translating, Our greatest technologies lie buried beneath the surface, awaiting your awakening. When you are ready, you will find the star map. It will guide you to the worlds we once called home. Reclaim your inheritance, children of Earth. As Marcus read these words, deep beneath the oceans, ancient machines began to stir. Earth's awakening had only just begun. 3 weeks passed after Earth's first victory. The Empire fleet had withdrawn to the edge of the solar system, but everyone knew they would return. Earth used this time to prepare. Jack Wilson became a hero after leading the successful counterattack. Now he worked with engineers to modify more ships with Guardian technology. 20 vessels were being prepared in hidden bases around the world. The Guardian systems bond better with each pilot, Jack explained to Admiral Carter. It's like they learn our thought patterns. Lisa Gordon confirmed this observation. The technology is symbiotic. It adapts to the user, and the user adapts to it. In the Antarctic facility, Marcus Boyd made the most important discovery yet. We found a complete star map in the Guardian database, he reported. It shows hundreds of worlds that were once part of the predecessor civilization. The map revealed a startling truth. The predecessors had controlled most of the galaxy before they disappeared. Many worlds now claimed by the Empire had once belonged to them. This changes everything, Admiral Carter said. We're not just defending Earth. We're reclaiming a legacy. High Emissary Zartul requested a direct communication with Earth's leaders. The signal came from his command ship, still orbiting Mars. You have discovered your heritage, Zartul said without preamble. Now you understand why the Empire fears you. President Susan Bailey responded. We understand that you invaded a world that wasn't yours to take. The predecessors abandoned the galaxy 10,000 years ago, Zartul countered. They left chaos. The Empire brought order. And now the predecessors' descendants have awakened, Admiral Carter added. Which clearly terrifies you. Zartul's expression hardened. The Imperial Council has made its final decision. You have 2 Earth days to surrender and disable all Guardian technology. After that, we will destroy this planet rather than allow predecessor technology to spread again. The transmission ended. Earth's leaders gathered to plan their response. Can they actually destroy Earth? President Bailey asked. General Scott nodded grimly. Our intelligence suggests they have planet-killer weapons. The question is whether our Guardian shields can stop them. Kelly Carter had been quiet during the meeting, working calculations on her tablet. She finally spoke. I think I know a way to end this without more fighting. Everyone turned to her. The Empire fears the Guardian technology spreading, Kelly explained. What if we showed them it already has? Jack Wilson immediately understood. The communication network, we can broadcast through it. Kelly nodded. Not just to the Empire fleet, to the entire galaxy. The plan took shape quickly. Kelly and Ryan Lewis would hack into the Empire's main communication network using the ancient relay stations in the asteroid belt. They would broadcast evidence of Earth's heritage across the galaxy, including to worlds suffering under Imperial rule. The Empire rules through fear and technology, Kelly said. What happens when other worlds learn they might have predecessor heritage too? That they might awaken their own Guardian systems? As Kelly and Ryan prepared the broadcast, the Empire fleet began moving toward Earth. Hundreds of ships formed attack position. Their planet-killer weapon, a massive cannon capable of cracking a world in half, began powering up. Admiral Carter deployed Earth's modified ships to protect key positions. The Guardian shield expanded to maximum power. Everyone knew this would be the final battle. In orbit, General Cravache received his orders from the Imperial High Command. Destroy Earth immediately. No survivors. Cravache hesitated. Such an action would be unprecedented. The Empire conquered worlds, exploited them, but rarely destroyed them completely. Sir, his science officer said quietly, if the predecessors truly left their legacy on Earth, destroying the planet may trigger failsafes we cannot predict. Cravache knew this was true. The predecessors' technology was legendary for its self-preservation protocols. But orders were orders. Begin primary firing sequence, he commanded. Earth, Kelly, and Ryan completed their work. We're ready to broadcast, Kelly told her father. Admiral Carter gave the order. Do it now. The ancient relay stations activated, boosting Earth's signal across vast distances. The broadcast began with a simple message. To all worlds of the galaxy. We are Earth, homeworld of the predecessors. We have awakened. The signal carried data proving Earth's claims, genetic markers, Guardian technology schematics, and a simplified version of the star map showing former predecessor worlds. In the Empire fleet, communication systems suddenly carried Earth's broadcast to every ship. Crew members saw the evidence. Many recognized their own worlds on the star map. Across the galaxy, subjugated planets received the message. On hundreds of worlds, people learned they might be connected to the legendary predecessors. Hope spread, where the Empire had crushed it for centuries. General Cravache watched in horror as his own crew began questioning their mission. Continue the attack, he ordered. But the planet-killer weapon shut down unexpectedly. His weapons officer reported, Sir, the firing systems are not responding. Something is interfering with the controls. On dozens of Empire ships, similar problems occurred. Systems failed. Some vessels lost power completely. High Emissary Zartul contacted Cravache in panic. What's happening to our fleet? It appears, Cravache said slowly, that some of our own ships have Guardian technology embedded in them, dormant until now. The revelation stunned Zartul. The predecessors hadn't just hidden on Earth. They had hidden their technology throughout the galaxy, even within the Empire's own ships. The Imperial Council sent an emergency order. All ships, withdraw immediately. Do not engage Earth forces. As the Empire fleet retreated, Earth celebrated. For the first time, humans looked to the stars not as a distant frontier, but as their birthright. 1 week later, ships from 5 other worlds arrived in Earth orbit. They came peacefully, seeking alliance with the predecessor homeworld. Each had awakened their own Guardian systems after receiving Earth's broadcast. Admiral Carter, Lisa Gordon, and Jack Wilson met with the representatives of these worlds on the space station Harmony. The visitors looked different from humans. Some had blue skin, others had 4 arms. One species had fur, but genetic testing confirmed they all shared predecessor DNA. The Empire is in chaos, the representative from Proxima Centauri reported. Many worlds are declaring independence. Some Imperial ships have even joined the rebellion after discovering they contain Guardian technology. Admiral Carter addressed the gathering. The predecessors left their legacy scattered across the galaxy, hiding from some ancient threat. Now we, their descendants, must unite to reclaim what was lost. Lisa Gordon added, and to prepare for whatever caused the predecessors to hide in the first place. As the meeting concluded, Jack Wilson delivered Earth's formal message to the retreating Imperial fleet. Earth to Galactic Empire. Access denied. You're not welcome here. And neither is your empire welcome on any world that chooses freedom. On Earth, Kelly Carter activated the complete star map discovered within the Guardian network. Hundreds of pinpoints of light appeared, showing worlds once part of the predecessor civilization, worlds now waiting for humanity's return. Marcus Boyd stood beside her, watching the map with wonder. The predecessors didn't disappear, he said. They transformed themselves and went into hiding. They became us. Kelly nodded. And now we're becoming them again. As Earth prepared to take its first steps beyond the solar system, the Guardian systems continued to awaken more dormant technology. Ancient ships rose from ocean depths. Hidden facilities opened in mountain ranges. Knowledge long forgotten became available again. Humanity stood on the threshold of a new era. They were no longer just inhabitants of Earth. They were the heirs of the stars, returning to reclaim their cosmic inheritance. The Empire had wanted Earth for its resources. Instead, they had awakened the descendants of the most powerful civilization the galaxy had ever known, a civilization that was now ready to return.